Evening, guys. How you doing? It's about 15 after 10 in the evening, Passover Sunday, April 12th, 2025, River Genesee, Roseman, California. With the dog, she must be obeyed. Actually, she's the mama's. She's got an official name, but only the doctor knows about that one. But she's my mama's, and she's also she must be obeyed. Senior. Okay, yeah, I've been staying off the line for a while because I was handling her situations, and the more I keep hearing about the political crap, the more it was driving me crazy. Tariffs going on and off. Secretary of Trade, or Commerce Secretary, I think he is. I don't know what the fuck the guy is. He's a lunatic. It went on this week. George Stephanopoulos show. Came on this morning. I was trying to give his explanations why the tariffs came on and came off. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms pay clinical on your snout. It's like that kind of a game they're playing right now. China is getting tariffed, and China's fighting back with their own tariffs. How about that one? We depend upon electronics, but the thing is, what China has is rare minerals, rare earth minerals. And those kind of minerals are useful when it comes down for manufacturing electronics. When the Greenland situation popped up, if I can call it a situation, and the minerals were talked about for a long while, they were talking about rare minerals. And it's those minerals that we would have to depend upon for our own electronics if we're going to have everything built over here. We need a supply of this stuff. It's one thing having a commercial partner for it, but to own another country outright from NATO and the UN and telling them we're taking over Greenland because we need it for national security. No, we need it for our own economics. It's not exactly national security, unless, of course, you really want to be a pain in the ass about it by confiscating another person's country. And Greenland, unless they've already changed already, is still under Denmark. But because of the minerals that they have over there, the thinking with these Trumplicans is if we own the other country, it's a landmass in itself. It should be its own country. It's got its own mass. It's got its own population in there. And it'll be up to the population to say whether or not they want to stick with Denmark or being an independent. If they're going to be independent, they're going to be open season with the United States. So if they stick with Denmark, they're still under Denmark's rule. And the United States would have nothing to do with it, unless, of course, they're going to be marshaling military force to get in there and take over the country by force, if necessary. They'd rather do it economics. They'd rather force things down people's throat. That's our current administration for you. They promised the world to their voters, and then it turned out to be the worst mistake they ever made in the polling. They did. So, the tariffs with China, concerning about all the electronics, said before, those components are made of minerals we don't have access to in the States. We are on a constant trade thing with supposedly other countries to get the stuff we need and want. When it comes down for electronics, we haven't built anything in decades. Only because we didn't have an adequate supply for our own end, so we had to depend upon trade for others. We had, I don't know if we still have any electronic manufacturers here going. And we can't get them going unless we have materials necessary to build things with. Which means we need trade from other countries to get the minerals so we have manufacturing. But what the Trumplican Party kept wanting at this point is we have everything under the roof. And then here's another thing. What about medications? Yeah, we're depending upon outside sources for medications now. Quite frankly, I don't think we have the chemicals necessary here in the States, manufactured or supplied automatically. I don't know where the hell we're going to get them. We had to depend on other countries to get the medications over here, so the pharmaceuticals can go nuts with them. But if we're doing out of country, yeah, then we got problems concerning about pricings with other countries and the other companies. I'm keeping an eye on my dog. Give me a second, guys. We'll put you on pause. What galls at me, what gets to me, is when we have official flunkies from the Trump administration. I'm almost about to call them trash bag again. Are telling us that we need the tariffs. We need to have a strong America. Well, if we got tariffs all over the place for everybody else, it means we're going to be paying higher prices, and we need to get it locally. But we can't get it locally unless we get the components necessary, which means we need it out of everybody. But we're going to be paying higher prices for the damn shit. Medications, clothing, food, a lot of things that we import. And yes, it would be nice to have manufacturing these days. I mean, we're trying to do the environmental situation by utilizing more and more dangerous and deadly materials composed and constructed into vehicles that seem to be having more issues than the gas-powered ones. We have other countries being stepped on by other countries. Or actually, let me rephrase that. Let me correct that for the record. We have companies being stepped on by the billionaires who still want to get their damn paychecks or their dividends somehow by eliminating or by absorbing the smaller companies. But that means they have to absorb the debt as well. Yeah, the Doge creepazoid who instigated a complete shutdown of our country, the governmental infrastructure that we all depend upon, calls it waste. No, he just wants the total destruction, apparently. He gave out his reasons, and it's like, no, because we don't have that much waste and fraud. But you guys keep thinking there's waste and fraud. There's waste and fraud in the voting. There's waste and fraud in breathing. There's waste and fraud anyway. Oh my God, we got to go crazy over this thing. And the people bought it. They drank the Kool-Aid, and now they're just as screwed up as everybody else. I didn't. Of course, I got a town that thinks I am that screwed up right now as it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm the sane one and everyone else is insane. They keep thinking I'm insane because I'm liberal and I'm wokeism. Whatever the hell that damn shit came out of. Well, this terminology came out a long while ago. Wokeism. What the hell is that shit? But nobody could identify what that term is. Woke. I know there's a verbal connotation and denotation for the thing. It has something to do with sleep. The body's way of waking things up and being alert in a process of being alert and awake, which means you're not asleep. So now to use this for a political term, if you're asleep, that means you're not aware of what's going on. Well, yeah, because you're asleep. The brain has a way of shutting itself down, part of it, to reorganize whatever it has got to do and make sure that the body's working properly. This is medical science. I wish I could have medical science for this dog right now. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I have to placate something that's more stress and strenuous than our United States system crashing and burning around us. A dog who is in pain. And I can't take her to the vet just yet. Not until I get transportation. So it's going to be a nice long night for both of us. Now, what if I need medications from the vet? And if we have a tariff on medications, on pharmacy, it's not just human pharmaceutical, it's also animal pharmaceutical. If the medications are being made by companies in different countries imported into the United States. How much more money am I going to be paying for at least 5 pills for maybe pain or sleep or something like that for my dog? Even though she has a hard time trying to take the medication in the first place, I have to have it liquefied and then shoved in there. She don't like cheese as much. But American processed cheese is processed here in the United States. That's no problem on that. But the medication itself, if the medication is processed outside our country, then that's the thing I got to look at. Because the tariffs will be charging me an arm and a leg and then some just to give her a little bit of peace and quiet for maybe a night or two sleeping. Let alone me. So I got to worry about that one there. Or how about me getting a new pair of shoes? I would have to pay more at, dare I mention the word, Wally World. 40 pair of cheap-ass tennis shoes, 13 size. Ozarks. Right. I've been wearing those things for God knows how long. Yeah, well, since I got over at the company about '07, got out in '12. So yeah, since '07. Couldn't do Payless shoe stores. They're gone out of business. Couldn't go to another shoe place. They're getting out of business. The big stores got them, and now you got Amazon taking over. But I'm stuck with Walmart because I'd gotten used to their shoes, and they were cheap enough, and they were made overseas. Now with the tariffs, they're going to be raising the prices. How much again on a cheap pair of $35 size 13s Ozarks? Just tennis shoes? Or actually hiking shoes? I like them. They got an arch in them. But now I got to pay the money for that. So is this on and off again tariff situation really necessary? If we're dealing with electronics, if I wanted to get a new cell phone, I'm going to be paying twice as much as the phone is usually worth. You got these $1,000 new phones coming out from Apple or from another company, and now you got to pay $2,000 or $3,000 for the damn thing. Because the retail companies don't know how much to charge the customer because of the tariffs. We all got to pay on this one. And when I hear Secretary, whatever the hell he is, doesn't know his ass from a hot rock, especially when he doesn't know the he doesn't know the bullet points. He tells us the general stuff. Well, we need, this is going to happen, and we need. And that's all I hear out of him is wah. So who the hell are you whining at, us? Are you telling us that the administration right now is full of diaper dudes or something like that? There was another terminology I used for him. Toddler brains. That was it. I was looking for toddler brains. There we go. Still playing in the sandbox. Still arguing over pieces of sand. Meanwhile, you got everyone else trying to dump damn sand over their heads as they're overturning the damn sandbox everyone plays in. They're the biggest baby toddler brain out there going, I'm the China now. I'm doing this for the good of the country. Sure, while he skirts off nearly every week into a golf course down in Florida, wasting people's taxpayer money. And you have somebody else gutting out the country. It's bad enough when I have to see Social Security getting gutted out to almost 90%. They're threatening to take out the staffing down to 10% working. They're putting official records. They want to put official records on Twitter. Any official announcements on Twitter, and that's it? Not through the government? Because this is efficiency, and this is from the same asshole who's gutting the country. And when I'm trying to tell my own town of Roseman, California about this stuff, it's like to think I'm a heretic. I'm a lunatic. I'm like Moses trying to tell people that there was a there was going to be a great flood coming, and they all should prepare. And they all laughed at his ass. And according to what the Bible was telling us, they all died. Except for Noah and his survivors and a lot of animals. But it's the way that when people get the word, they say, liberal, 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 quack, quack, quack. Don't know that's not right. I don't like fake news. And this isn't new. This is not new. Well, people don't want to hear the bad news coming down our pipeline. They don't want to hear about the damn shit. It's like if you happen to live in a valley and you're right near a damn power station, you're in a big ass dam with water. That storm comes in. You always got this full-in idiot out there who thinks he's going to, it's all fake news until he gets flooded out and then he dies. There was other stories similar to that, I could tell you, about the guy trying to figure out how come he wound up in heaven after he's been warned so many damn times that the flood was coming. And he says, well, I'm a Christian. Or I'm this, I'm that, but I pray God will save me. After the guy's getting a warning left and right until he dies. He drowns in the process. After a few attempts trying to save his measly ass. Doesn't matter. So when I'm looking here at the economic crap we got going on, I'm worried about the Social Security. I'm really, really worried about the Social Security. Because I depend upon that damn thing for survival. Without Social Security, without my Social Security, without my contributions being paid back to me, even though small chump change, but still, it's survival anyway. Without that coming, I got zip. I'm in no condition, mental or physical, to go out there looking for work at my age. And I'm going to be pushing 60 next year. I'm going to be coming up closer to a retirement age. Unless, of course, they get moved about from 63 to 65 or 68. Then maybe they'll give me a few more years. If I'm physically and mentally alert enough and well enough to do the job, whatever the hell the damn thing is. And out here in this town, I'll be, if it's retail or fast food, that's about it. That's all we have out here. If we have any positions open. If there's anything open. Yeah. Other than that, I'm still trying to get through college. Midterms this week. Oh, if that's not fun enough. People are still making a big deal about the real ID. About a couple of years back, Congress passed a law before Trump got in office. And they were trying to make sure that people would have this real ID thing to supplant and surpass, theoretically upgrading their local state ID. There's local state issued identification cards for driving and just plain out identification. And Congress kept extending that damn deadline. I think it was several years ago they passed the damn thing. They called it national security. No, they didn't. It's some bullshit. This voter registration shit. Because now the House of Representatives have passed the SAVE Act. I haven't heard anything yet concerning about if it's going through the Senate system right now. It'll probably be talked about in the subcommittees, whether or not it's actually going to be helping or not. But this is still voter intimidation, voter registration, and voter fraud. Well, the people who thought of this real ID crap, they were worried about voter fraud. They might have the wrong people voting. Like who? Dead people. Okay, so now I'm going to see Walking Dead coming into the polling stations without any ID. They'll go up to the pollsters, to the poll workers actually, and they'll just, sir, where's your ID? Huh? Where's your ID? Uh, Sir, you can't vote. You're dead. Huh? You're dead, sir. We don't serve the dead. You want to vote? Where's your ID? We're not going to serve you, sir, because you're dead. If you were living, we could do it. Sir, you're a zombie. We don't serve zombies. Shoo! 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 Go outside the door or outside the polling place. Sees the other fellow zombies being freaked out by everyone else voting to get the voter stickers on, and zombies are going yelling at him. Of course, the zombie is going to say, "You." Of course, there'll be a legal lawsuit going through. Would the zombies be considered, the undead actually considered viable voters? Are we going to be doing any gentrification on them or gerrymandering at this point? I mean, are there communities of the Walking Dead out there who need to vote or have an expressed interest in American politics? It's bad enough when we're going to be doing it to anybody who's theoretically illegal. But then again, how do you define illegal? Here's the fun part. What they want to find out is whether or not you're legal, whether or not you're correct. They want to know if you have the papers necessary to do this action. If you're not, they will deport you. Lickety split. I talked about this one a while ago, how the SAVE Act sucks. They're forcing every state to comply. It's supposed to be in every state having their own way of voter registration and verification. They're supposed to keep their own records, but now the government, the federal government's got to step into this shit and demand that people produce the right articles. But here's my problem here. I need the correct updated paperwork, which means taking time from this dog, who's fussy enough as it is. I got to leave home. I got to go to a place to get the paperwork, shell out money, make sure it's legal, and then have to traverse over to another place another day to get the ID necessary. All this because of the next election cycle. But if I'm going to be traveling somewhere, I also still need it too, because it has to be updated. Well, I got old paperwork here just decaying like crazy, so I suppose I need to get that updated. I mean, shit, it's only been about 60 years old, so I need to get that paper updated. It's only deteriorating left and right. So I have to get that crap. I understand the necessity reason for that one. Shit, if I wanted to travel somewhere, they would need to see the updated paperwork. Passport would have been nice, a passport card. I understand the book's about 165 for Americans, and about 65 or 35. No, 65 for them. I forgot what the damn thing is. Hell of a lot cheaper to get a card that says passport on the damn thing. Of course, it's only good for North America anyway. I mean, we're talking Canada if they haven't kicked us out yet, Mexico if they haven't cursed us out yet, or even the Caribbean waters if they haven't sent the sharks out for us yet, even land sharks. That being said, I got another 8 more weeks of class, and we'll see what happens. Let's see if I graduate. Actually, I'm going to graduate. I got to go over to the campus and talk to them concerning about my situation. I don't know if I need to take more history classes or continue with the English major. Because if I'm going to be taking history classes, it means I'm going to be staying over there for a hell of a long while. I've been doing English classes. I've been doing the general just what they need. And then I started taking other classes that relate to either history and English. We'll see if I happen to talk with them about this, if I'm allowed to do anything like that over there. It might be considered wokeism, liberalism. It might be traitorous to the new regime we have. Don't give me any ideas on this one. I just might. I just might. You want to talk about it? Talk to her about it. She must be obeyed. That being said,